Are you ready?
Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, and Scott Robbins.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Making sense of it all.
Now I get it.
And having some fun.
Lighten up, Francis.
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
All right, let's do it. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins.
Yo, man.
Is the ceasefire going to stand? Has it stood?
Did it actually start? I don't know.
I know. Yeah, it feels dicey to me.
Well, was Lebanon part of the deal or not?
Mm-hmm.
J.D. Vance is saying no, it's not part of the deal.
Yeah.
Iran was saying part of the deal. So then you got a lot of reporters in the United States saying, well, that was part of the deal.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying Iran is telling the truth on this one?
Of course, naturally.
Okay. But not according to J.D., because Israel is still going after Hezbollah in Lebanon. And here's part of what he said.
I think this comes from a legitimate misunderstanding. I think the Iranians thought that the ceasefire included Lebanon, and it just didn't. We never made that promise. We never indicated that was going to be the case. What we said is that the ceasefire would be focused on Iran, and the ceasefire would be focused on America's allies, both Israel and the Gulf Arab states. Now, that said, the Israelis, as I understand it, again, I'm supposed to get a fuller report when I get on the plane, have actually offered to be, frankly, to check themselves a little bit in Lebanon because they want to make sure that our negotiation is successful. That's not because that is part of the ceasefire, but look, if Iran wants to let this negotiation fall apart in a conflict where they were getting hammered over Lebanon, which has nothing to do with them and which the United States never once said was part of the ceasefire, that's ultimately their choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. And then you got some media outlets blaming Israel, saying, well, Netanyahu is not happy with this deal at all. He wanted this war to just keep going on and on and on. And that's the thing. You don't know who to trust with the different reporting on this. Because you know synchronized left-wing media, you can't trust them. But then you have also right-wing media, part of it, that hates Israel.
Yes.
You're like, okay, is that reporting accurate? You're not quite sure exactly what's going on behind the scenes. You really don't know. So you just wait for it to play out. And I know you drove by the gas station again, Scott, and that's what you're thinking about.
That's all I can think about.
He dreams about gas prices.
And you've actually stated this before. Yeah, this is all fine if we can pull this off, but there are a lot of people questioning, why did we do this to begin with?
Yeah. Well, why?
Well, what do you tell them when they ask you why?
Well, we probably needed more leverage, and we probably have the leverage now.
I mean, just to start bombing to begin with?
Well, yeah.
Because they were going to get a nuke.
Because it's like, okay, we're not going to push this. We're not going to keep pushing this, right?
Down
Which
the road.
every other administration has done.
Yes, not going to kick the can.
We're not placating anymore.
Right.
We're not throwing money at it. We're just going to say, here's the deal. Here's what we're going to do, and it's resounding.
Is that what you tell people, David?
What I tell people is Trump's going to do what Trump's going to do. And I think this was the time, in his opinion, and based on the information that he took in, which I'm not privy to, obviously, he decided, all right, now's the time to, like you said, stop kicking the can down the road. We know the Iranians never really negotiate in good faith. Let's make them.
Yeah.
They like to draw things out. Draw.
Yep, just take
Nothing
more time.
Gets done.
Take more time. Yes, there's all of that. As far as, was it a good idea to do this at this point in time? Your gut feeling as we stand here today.
This is going to be wishy-washy. I know you're supposed to have a take on these things. I don't know.
I think it's wise to say that because we don't know.
Yeah.
There's things about it we don't know, and I don't think we'll know for maybe 6 months. I mean, I think we'll know in a month where we're at. Did this thing take around 6 weeks, maybe 7, whatever, or is it going to just keep dragging on and on and on?
Yeah, see, that's a disaster.
Yeah.
I mean, should that happen, that's a disaster.
Yes.
But I will say, I think he struck while the iron was hot. I mean,
as far as they knew they could take that regime out all at one time, boom, gone.
In terms of how the American people would react, the worm starts to turn a lot the longer it goes on. But I think initially, when you hit the first rush of what was going on, it's like, good. This is something we should have done years ago, decades ago.
Well, and it's so strange because, he starts this war with Israel against Iran, right? And so, the guy doesn't bluff.
No.
All right, so then he threatens the end of civilization. If they don't come to the table.
Yeah.
And then, oh my gosh, we have a madman. Somebody's got to take him out of office. He's going to nuke him. And they're all freaking out. And then, hey, good news, we got a deal. Not going to bring the kind of fire and fury I was talking about. Not going to end their civilization. And all of a sudden, he's a chicken.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Taco.
damned if you do and damned if you don't there. I mean,
for sure.
There's no win there. There's no win.
Yeah, part of this you've heard before, but it was a little montage that was put
Donald
together.
Trump just caved, backing down from his fake deadline.
All day today, everyone, most notably the people of Iran, were wondering if their civilization was going to die tonight. Well, good news, it didn't. It was the Taco Tuesday of all Taco Tuesdays.
It's been very obvious for the last few days that the president was looking for an off-ramp.
The taco, Trump always chickens out syndrome.
Yeah, just on and on. He chickened out.
Well, I mean, in that case, then wouldn't you be kind of glad that he chickened out? Why is that something to needle him with?
It's strange. Like, well, we wanted to nuke him.
Right.
Well,
Should have nuked Iran. Come on, Trump. Double dog dare you. Don't chicken out next time. What do they want?
I don't get it. Well, Aaron Burnett yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I should say, was saying, now it's like the president's word doesn't mean anything on the world stage because he says one thing and does another. Well, dude, he does that all the time. It's called a back and forth. It's called negotiating. And, I mean, President Trump has backed up his words before. Hey, Soleimani, you step foot outside of Iran, we're going to vaporize you. Well, he goes to Iraq and died there.
Yep. Yeah. And then the whole thing with NATO, with legacy media, all those people. And NATO, how could we do that to our friends and allies?
Right.
He's talking about pulling out of NATO, and it's like total panic.
Yes.
Well, they didn't help. That is true. Not only did they not help, you can't fly at your own base in our country.
Yeah.
We're not going to let you do that. Are you joking? It's crazy. And you could tell that Jake Tapper was wanting Mark Rutte, the NATO chief, to go off on Trump, and he just didn't do it. Did you hear that clip?
I haven't heard it.
Okay, here.
Safer today than it was before the war was started?
Yeah, is the world safer today than when the war was started? Meaning he's made everything worse. That's what he's expecting. Like, yes, there's challenges now we didn't have before.
Than it was before the war was started?
Absolutely. Because, and this is thanks to President Trump's leadership, degrading these capabilities is really very important for your and my safety here in the U.S., in Europe, in the Middle East.
Well, that wasn't the answer Jake wanted.
No.
That didn't go as planned, did it?
No.
That's also a guy who knows who's signing the paychecks.
You better believe it.
I mean, that's Mark Rutte. That guy, I mean, Trump makes his job so much easier in a lot of different ways because he can go back to, his fellows on the continent and say, this dude's serious. He's kind of crazy. You better do at least some of what he says.
Yeah. Well, and it's also what you found out is, hey, all right, as far as the Strait of Hormuz, we got to keep this thing open. We'd like some help here from some of our allies. And you look at the UK and Keir Starmer.
Yeah.
Dude, that Navy's a joke.
Yeah. Well, they had to return to port, right? One of their boats?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're...
It took months to get it out. It goes, and then they got to get it back.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to, rule the world, their Navy.
Yes.
It's a laughing stock. How can they help? France, sort of the same thing.
Well, it's the next Muslim country.
Dude, did you see the piece today? And we can get to it a little bit later. Oh, yeah, I sent it to you. That is wild. Mm-hmm. The Islamification of Britain.
Yeah.
Dude, they're hosed. I mean, I know we've said that before, but it's like you read another piece, you're like, how can... You can't let that
I
happen.
mean, you let the ninnies just go ahead and you can't push back on it because, well, that's.
Well,
know.
they started changing everything.
Oh,
I didn't realize, like in schools, they started changing the dress code for the Muslim students. What? Yeah, totally crazy. Speaking of crazy, something else. Did you see the Irina Zarutska story as far as, she got stabbed to death last summer by this nut that should have been in jail, 30 times over?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In North Carolina? That guy's named DeCarlos Brown Jr. Okay, and maybe you saw this story, that they have found him incapable to proceed as far as in court.
Yeah.
He can't do it. What?
He's too crazy.
Yes. And a defendant who is incapable of proceeding in a criminal case cannot be tried or punished by the state, according to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Well, I mean, he is still facing federal charges for committing an act of violence resulting in death on a mass transportation system.
Yeah.
That's the only charge that the feds could actually bring against him. But yeah, I think, you know what? If you're capable of just randomly stabbing a woman in the neck and killing her and then casually walking away, you're perfectly capable of doing time behind bars.
Yes. Wow. Because, most people saw that. Unprovoked. She's just sitting there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's stabbing her in the neck. I would love to see the polling on this. Just, all Americans. Here it is. Once you saw the video, would you be okay with next day public execution? I would just be curious.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it would be highly popular with a lot of people I know, but I would just like to see what everyone else would say in a situation like that.
Well, we don't know. It's barbaric. He's mentally ill.
What did Van Jones say? Hurt people, hurt people.
Oh my gosh. Unreal. Van Jones.
Hurt people, hurt people.
Yes.
Yeah. And what's going on in Canada, David?
Dude, this is
my God.
hilarious
You guys sit down for this one.
audio. So Leah Gazan,
Okay.
she's a politician in Canada, apparently a fringe, part of a fringe party or something. But she's very upset that the proposed budget for Canada doesn't include enough gay stuff. And apparently we've added letters to the LGBTQIA2S+ acronym.
It's ridiculous.
Okay, I haven't heard this yet. Go ahead and roll it.
They provided $0 to deal with the ongoing genocide of MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+.
What?
This is abhorrent. This is callous.
Huh?
This is callous because the very liberal government that has stripped organizations of life-sustaining funding has now committed $13 billion. $13 billion on military spending. Who is paying for it? Indigenous women across this country, Indigenous women, girls to us, LGBTQIA+, are not safe.
Whoa!
Yeah, I don't need,
So
I had to look this up.
MMIW G2SL GBTQQIA stands for plus. Of course, you can't forget the plus because there aren't enough letters.
Yeah, got to keep adding.
Missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, questioning, intersex, and asexual plus. I did not realize that being murdered was a sexual or gender identity, but apparently, according to this Canadian, it is.
Okay. So then Irina Zarutska would be in that group.
Apparently so, yes.
I know what mental illness looks like.
What is going on? The 5 stories we're watching today, straight ahead.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-297-7049. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-297-7049. 800-297-7049. 800-297-7049.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text SPARK to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text SPARK to 215-215. That's SPARK to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
All right. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Man, the world's crazy.
It is.
Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins, and now the 5 stories we're watching today.
1, 2. Okay, number 5. CNN reported that Michael J. Fox had died. Well, he says he's very much alive and doing great.
How do you make that mistake, man?
Crazy.
There was a pre-write, I guess, that accidentally got published.
I understand that a lot of those news outlets, they want to have something ready to go.
Yes.
That's a common practice. Mm-hmm. But you publish it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
accident. Fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of times accidents will get you fired.
Yeah.
That's not one you can do. Yep, he's dead.
No, he's not.
Here's the tribute. What? He's alive? Oh, sorry.
I don't believe anything I see anymore because half of it's a lie. Beloved shortstop dead at the age of what?
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, number 4, the Justice Department reportedly opened an investigation into the NFL over whether the league used anti-competitive tactics against fans. The reported investigation comes as Trump administration officials and lawmakers have warned about revisiting the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961. This law allows the NFL to negotiate league-wide TV deals, but they have to meet certain conditions, including protecting consumer access. Well, now the NFL is saying, well, we're going to have games on Netflix. We're going to have games on NFL TV. We're going to have games on Amazon. And so now are they actually just screwing over consumers and reaping the benefits?
I don't know what to think about that.
I
mean, everybody has choices.
Well,
yeah.
I think there's that, but they are also getting a huge financial windfall by avoiding the law when it comes to antitrust issues.
Wow.
So they're making a lot of money, and they're not following the rules that were set by Congress. Number 3, all U.S. ships, aircraft, weapons, military personnel are remaining in place in and around Iran until a full agreement is reached. Number 2, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte criticized European leaders for being a bit slow in supporting the U.S. in the war against Iran. And meanwhile, number 1, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian, yeah, I nailed that, says that planned talks between the U.S. and his country on Saturday will be meaningless if Israel keeps bombing Hezbollah in Lebanon. It's a big sticking point right now.
All right. Keep an eye on that. I happen to see in a poll, 48% of people believe they're smarter than their parents. Well, you do.
No, I don't.
You always thought you were smarter than your parents.
Oh, no.
Really?
Smarter than my dad? No.
Wow.
Gosh, no. He could tear apart an engine, put it back together again, rewire the house. I can make a mixtape.
Would you have ever guessed that, David, from all these years?
Well, I think probably just because Scott really has a self-image problem.
Boy, man, we could go deep into this now. Yeah. How long is this show? This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins show. Okay, so what do you mean by that?
I mean that Scott engages in a lot of negative self-talk.
That is common with everyone on this show.
Well, yeah, we all hate ourselves. That's why we do this job.
Yeah, that's why. Misery loves company.
That was actually going to be the name of the show.
Right, yes.
Not Three's Company. Misery loves company.
Yeah.
Oh, I would say, for the most part, pretty happy people.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, but there are definitely things about ourselves that we don't like.
Yeah,
but I think that's safe to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. It's Thursday. And by the way, nerves are always frayed by Thursday. You can count on that every week. It's always a wild show. And it's going to get wilder because we have a clip of JB Pritzker for Scott coming up.
Oh, God.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins show. Thank you very much for being here. Do appreciate it. I'm Jamie Markley. That's David Van Camp, and there's Scott Robbins. And David's about to tweak Scott. I can feel it.
Just a little bit, yeah.
What do we got here?
JB Pritzker, the Democrat governor of Illinois, he thinks he's going to be president. He'll never be elected president.
No.
He got the talking points to say Trump needs to be removed from office right now.
Okay.
President Trump threatened to wipe out an entire civilization. Let's be honest, there is something genuinely wrong with this man, and the 25th Amendment must be invoked before it's too late. For the sake of our national security, Donald Trump needs to go now.
Seriously overweight?
Dude,
shut up.
The 25th Amendment thing is just like boomer bait for liberal donations. Because it's actually harder to remove the president with the 25th Amendment than it is to impeach and remove.
I don't think a lot of people know that.
No, because so the way that Democrats describe it is it's like, yeah, a majority of the cabinet and the vice president come in and say, you're not president anymore, now I am. That's not how it works. What they do is they say that, and then temporarily the president is out of power, but they have to get 2/3 of the House and 2/3 of the Senate to approve it. And if that's not met, then the president stays the president. And
of course, that would never happen.
That would never happen. And then also, Trump would probably have a really good case in front of the Supreme Court that constitutes a coup, and it is illegal to begin with. So this whole 25th Amendment thing doesn't make any sense because
he knows that. He knows it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's just liberal boomer bait for donations.
Throws it out there.
Yeah.
Oh, JB gets his talking points. Yeah.
And he takes the fat shot.
I mean,
I said it's not working.
No, it's not. He's taking the he's on the fat shot too.
Yeah, that's what Trump
has
said,
been for a while.
Yeah.
But and apparently he has dropped some weight.
Okay.
So I've been told.
All right.
I can't even look at him.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
You've heard talk of the Strait of Hormuz, and all of a sudden it's going to be like a toll booth, and Iran's going to be charging.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's $1 million a throw or whatever it is, like serious cash. Trump said, "Well, maybe it would be a joint effort."
Yeah,
we'll see. Who knows? And I heard different people say, "Terrible," because you got all these other Arab states are going, "No, I'm not paying for that. I didn't have to pay for it before. This is a terrible idea." I'm like, okay, maybe that's a terrible idea. I don't know. And then I hear Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary, say, no, I like that idea. And then he explains why.
UAE, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and of course the Chinese and Singapore and Japan, they'll all pay. And if it's $5 or $6 billion a month, it's nothing compared to the value of stability in getting 21% of the world's oil through that strait. I like this outcome. I don't like war, but This tells me the region's coming back big, because if you can get peace in the Middle East, it's one of the fastest growing regions on earth.
He's thinking money is what he's thinking.
What?
So is everybody else.
Right. Well, and yeah, Trump has made that crystal clear in both his first term and the second term, working out different arrangements with Middle Eastern countries and acknowledging that, yeah, they're booming areas right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, you know what? If you just stop with the jihadi crap, we can all get really, really rich.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. But that's not what Iran is about.
No.
At all. Maybe Saudi. Qatar. Maybe.
See if they could sell a fast pass for the toll.
I mean, like an amusement park thing?
Yeah, or
First in line?
Or the ones you use if you live in a city where there's a lot of tolling going on.
Oh, I got you.
You just buy one a year, and then it just registers it when you go through.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way.
It's a little expensive, but hey, it pays off in the end.
All right. Yeah, get you to the front of the line sometimes, maybe?
Right, you never know. Yeah, it can move your ship up.
I just had not thought of, well, listen, it sounds like a lot of money, but for these countries to have the stability, it's nothing to them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. Might have a point there. We'll see how it all plays out. All right, it's that time. We do it a couple of times a day. Go around the table. It may not be the biggest story out there, but it caught your attention. David, today, what's your story?
You know, there are guys on YouTube that just go off and prank people, and most of the time I don't find it very funny because you're just harassing people going about their day.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's not very funny. And this one, I don't really like most of it except for what happens in the end. So this guy, he's a black dude. He walks into a PetSmart and wants to buy a fish. He's affecting some sort of generic accent, like he doesn't really speak English all that well. And he asked the associate at the fish area how long he should cook the fish before eating them. And she says, don't eat this. Then the manager comes in and tells him to get out. I'm not going to sell you the fish if you're just going to eat it. We don't sell food here. Go to a supermarket, all that. And I think it goes on so long, and I'm like, hey, man, you're just harassing people doing their jobs. Okay, that's not very funny. However, as other customers are telling him to leave, there is one white lady that you'll hear at the end of this clip. She's in line who apologizes to him for them kicking him out of the store.
Okay. Looking forward to this. Roll it.
Speak to me much. Please quiet. Americans speak, talk lots. You say? Foreigner talk less.
Go.
This country no good. Me try to buy the fish.
Go back to your country. No, we didn't need that. You don't come to a pet store to eat the fish.
I'm sorry this happened.
You don't come to the pet store to eat the animals. There's grocery stores.
I'm sorry that this happened.
You hear this? Like, he didn't need that. Go back to your country. And no, he didn't deserve that. The infantilizing there is just
perfect. Other people are like, assimilate or get out.
Well, yeah.
And go back.
I'm sorry, PetSmart won't let you eat the goldfish. I mean, what?
No.
That is pretty funny.
Oh, boy.
All right, Scotty, what do you got for your story?
Masters at Augusta tees off today.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Calcavecchia was there.
Oh, that's one of my stories.
Did you read that story?
Of course.
Yeah. He's the 1989 Open champion, escorted off the grounds. So what did Mark do?
I already know. I sent you the story.
He answered the phone.
No phones at Augusta.
I didn't know that.
I told you that.
I remember you saying that now.
Yeah.
But not, because you can't take pictures with a camera phone either, right?
No.
No.
No, on practice round days, you can take a camera in. My wife brought hers in the one time we got to go to the practice round, 7 years ago.
Cannot bring, you cannot bring your cell phone with you.
No cell phones.
And they boot you immediately.
Yeah.
And Calcavecchia got kicked out.
Yeah, he's a major champion.
Yes.
Doesn't matter who you are. They don't care. They don't need your money.
Out you go.
There are rules.
Out you go.
And I love it.
I found
a lot of people love it. It's like, this is fantastic. What a day without phones. It was awesome. Not welcome here. And if you don't like it, you don't have to go.
See, there's a certain thing I love about that place. It's just, it's like, we don't care.
No.
We don't care.
This is the way we run our tournament.
This is the way it is. When you walk onto these grounds, you will obey our rules.
Yeah. They're not going to be mean about it.
No.
No, it's just...
They'll be nice when they escort you off the course, unless, of course, you decide you're going to raise Cain or something.
And if
then
all of a
things
sudden...
get ugly.
If you happen to be the person that is the idiot that's got to be like, get in the hole! Right before a swing happens, you will be escorted out.
Even better.
Yeah. That's just part of it.
That was played out 20 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, if they're swearing? No.
None of that either, huh?
No, we'll
Can you speak in an audible voice?
Oh, yes. Okay. Absolutely. But yeah, you're dropping F-bombs or whatever. No. We don't do that. You'll just be nicely escorted out.
It's a magical place.
Yeah. That was going to be, I had a couple of stories. That was another one. And this is the way it was 7 years ago when I was there. And it's still pimento sandwiches, $1.50.
Who wants a pimento sandwich?
And they eat them all over. Oof. The delicacy there. Yeah. Egg salad sandwich, $1.50. The club or the ham and cheese, $3. That's it. Muffins, $2.50. Cookies, chips, $1.50. The Georgia peach ice cream sandwich, man, it's that good.
Yeah, how much?
$3.
Oh.
Popcorn candy, $2. Oh, if you're like, man, I got some muscle ache or headache or something, I need some Advil, 75 cents. That's $20 in a hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is kind of cool the way they keep the prices low as far as concessions.
Again, they can do what they want.
Yes.
They don't need the money. You
and I
said
know
that.
there are plenty of people like that. I just think it's snooty and I don't like it and it's elitist and whatever. That's fine.
They don't care.
No, we're going to run this
We've
a
covered
certain
this
way.
territory, right? They don't care.
And it is true. I haven't not talked to anybody yet that's been able to go, whether it was a practice round or go to, one of the rounds of the tournament and say, I heard this build up. I was let down. I didn't think it was that great. I've just never heard anybody say it. It's always like, wow, that place really is something. It's different.
What's the parking situation like?
I mean, you got to park a ways away.
Is there
a
shuttle that comes and picks you up or golf carts?
I'm trying to remember. I think it's just a lot of walking, but it's not bad. I mean, and you're directed around. Mm-hmm. And you might have to wait for a while. But, I mean, it's orderly and people are, pretty well behaved. Yeah, we had rented a car that week, and my wife encouraged me. She's like, we're having fun this week. Let's get that Dodge Challenger. Really? What a great week that was, man. Yeah. Like, I love you. I love you even more than I thought I loved you. That's awesome. Yeah, we had a good time. All right. Much to get to. David's got a news update. And then, we always got Nimrod's in the news. These two doofuses, they really outdid themselves. That's coming up right here.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-297-7049. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-297-7049. 800-297-7049. 800-297-7049.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus. this.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text SPARK to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text SPARK to 215-215. That's SPARK to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Yeah. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. Have you thought about losing weight, like 10 pounds or more, and thought, okay, I know that shot, it works. I've seen it work, but I don't like needles. And then I hear about the side effects. I'm not into Depends. I don't want any of that nonsense. But I'd sure like to take off the weight. I'd like something that would help me. There is an alternative to the shots.
Yeah, it's a weight loss supplement called Lean. The results are remarkable. Lean uses studied ingredients that are shown to help lower blood sugar, curb appetite and cravings, the works, so you're just not as hungry all the time, and your body is working to lose that fat.
Yeah, Lean is not for the casual dieter either. If you're just trying to drop, 2-3 pounds here and there, Brickhouse Nutrition designed this product, Lean, for the frustrated dieter with 10 pounds or more to lose. So let's get you started right now. It's 20% off plus free rush shipping. Just go to takelean.com. Use the promo code MVCR to add lean to your healthy diet and exercise plan. That's MVCR at takelean.com.
News update, David Van Camp.
Well, Democrat Representative Eric Swalwell, he's running for governor in California now, and he is apparently going to be facing some serious sexual misconduct allegations. He's denying these. I think, man, it's very well-timed. very well-timed ahead of the open primary. And I don't know if I haven't seen anything to make me believe it, but we'll see where this goes. However, Maze Moore on X, always a good follow.
Yes.
Brought up, went in the Wayback Machine to 2018 when, Eric Swalwell was talking about the unfounded allegations against Brett Kavanaugh, now Supreme Court Justice.
As someone who worked with sexual assault victims as a prosecutor, every victim comes forward or doesn't come forward at all in a different manner. She came forward, and once she did, the past is the past, and we should take her allegations seriously.
You can understand why the Republicans aren't trusting you guys, though, right?
Well, but I would also say this, and I've made this argument to many juries, and you never want to be the defendant on the other side of it. What are the chances that this woman and 2 other women who have never met each other would come forward with similar allegations?
So you think he's lying?
I wouldn't hire him, but I would certainly look more into this.
I'm sorry, you wouldn't hire him?
This is a job interview. Yeah, this is a job interview. They're advising and consenting, and they're essentially hiring or not hiring Judge Kavanaugh. I'm not determining whether he did this or not. I would just say with
Nor am I, but do you think it's fair
I wouldn't
that
hire him.
36 years after something happens that someone's entire career could potentially be destroyed because of some allegations which nobody has any proof over?
I think the fairest thing for Judge Kavanaugh would be that he took the bench having his name cleared by a thorough FBI investigation. He deserves that.
Well,
this guy.
And he wants to get hired as governor.
Yes, it's a job interview.
Yeah. Sometimes it comes around, man.
Yeah, it really does.
That's something. I heard an interesting conversation. Cheryl Hines, that's RFK Jr.'s wife.
Yeah.
She used to be a darling of the left.
Oh, yeah.
Not anymore. Because she said Trump's human, basically.
What?
Yeah. Bill Maher, sort of the same thing. I mean, there are still some on the left that admire Bill Maher, but not like they used to.
Oh, no.
He's fallen out of favor big time. So he had her as a guest, and they were talking about their experience meeting Trump, which I thought was interesting.
Somebody was just asking me about when I met him, what surprised me the most, and I said I was surprised that he really likes to listen to people. He's very curious in what you have to say.
They hated when I said that. Again, because I'm just telling you what happened. What, should I lie?
I guess so. I guess
right.
That's
He
what
kicked me in the balls under the table. And then
I knew he would.
He threw the spaghetti against the wall when I raised the subject of tariffs. No. No.
Yeah, he listened.
Yeah. I think he actually wants more people around him for a stimulating conversation.
Yeah.
I was very surprised at, and mentioned it again, they hated me for it, that as opposed to so many important people I've met who, when you talk to them, you don't feel like they're really listening.
Yeah, they're like looking over their shoulder sort of thing. And they went
Right.
on just talking about that. Yeah, he really seemed like engaged. And the left can't even stand to hear that.
No.
It's a fascinating time to watch all of this.
I mean, and Mark
unfold.
can identify a BSer from a mile away. So for him to
Yeah.
say that, I thought had even equal credibility.
Yeah. Oh, man, we got to get to Nimrod. We're running out of time.
When the going gets tough,
Damn it, this is too hard.
the dumb get dumber.
All right, Ian.
It's Nimrods in the News on the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
I love the poorly educated.
All right. Nimrod's the news. I'm going to switch mine up right here. I'm going to go to this young lady, Carissa Guntner. She's 19. She gained access to the University of Cincinnati's Daniels Hall in December. This is a big hall.
Yeah.
It's very welcoming. She just acted like she blended in. She doesn't go to school there. Everybody goes to break. She steals all their stuff.
Oh, God.
Finally got caught, and that's Nimrod's in the news.
Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, and Scott Robbins.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Making sense of it all
Now I get it.
and having some fun.
Lighten up, Francis.
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. The fragile ceasefire is holding on day 2. That's
Okay.
the news. So far, at least it's holding. So that's good. Market's up again. You can see that. J.D. Vance, vice president, said, yeah, Ron better abide to this or the whole thing's off.
The deal is a ceasefire, a negotiation. That's what we give. And what they give is the straits are going to be reopened. If we don't see that happening, the president is not going to abide by our terms if the Iranians are not abiding by their terms.
Okay. Oil is up a few bucks today, at least so far. So we'll see where it all goes.
Well, people are nervous. You know,
Yeah.
you know, is there going to be a toll? Is this ceasefire for what it is it going to hold?
And
I
then
don't think
the
it
question is, Trump insane or is he a chicken? The left can't seem to figure it out.
No.
I don't know.
Can he be an insane chicken?
Well, anything's possible, Scott.
Okay, all right, just wondering.
But are you really worried about an insane chicken?
No.
Like he just goes around threatening, I'll beat you up. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't.
It's a wonderful little media narrative they have going on.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, it's been going on for years, right? He's an evil genius, but also an idiot.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Oh, he knows exactly what he's doing. No, he's crazy. He's lost it. Chris Murphy, you can always count on that guy to tell the truth. He's not a card reader or talking point regurgitator.
And he's on the Rolodex, though, isn't he? Immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what kind of wacky stuff comes out of his cake hole.
Well, here you go.
We just can't accept a president who is literally promising to destroy an entire civilization, to murder hundreds of thousands of innocent human beings.
First of all, before we go on, he didn't promise it. He said he didn't want to do it.
Right. I mean, yes.
I mean, I will if you put me in
will,
that
but-
position. I don't think he was ever going to do it. But that was the threat to get them to negotiate.
Well, it seemed to have worked.
It did. But he's saying he promised to do it. Not acceptable.
That alone should be grounds for the removal of this president. But he thinks, I guess, that the threat of mass-scale war crimes has achieved some success.
Well, yeah.
How else would you put it? I mean, what do you...
It did.
It did. You got the desired result, yes.
The Chinese and the Pakistanis were like, hey, dude, you do something here, okay?
Ron, hey, I don't think he's bluffing.
I mean, when North Korea is even saying, I don't know, man, you guys are acting a little weird. You're in a bad position.
Yeah. So where do you think it ends? Do you think this is it?
No.
No,
I don't
I
think
don't
it is.
either.
No,
Unfortunately.
I just have this sneaking suspicion that Iran's going to do something stupid, and then it's going to get really, really loud in the region, like on Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It's possible. Or do you say that just to get Scott going?
A little bit of both, but I do believe that. Again, I don't think it's end of civilization. I think it'll just get, again, things are going to start going kaboom again.
At some point, yeah. All right. Somebody else is saying Trump has already committed a war crime.
Yeah.
Who is this?
Ben Rhodes. This guy, he was one of the chief architects of Obama's Iran nuclear deal, and he was on the record, by the way, after the Obama administration was over, admitting they lied to the White House press corps about that deal because, well, in his words, and I'm paraphrasing here, but the spirit is there, because the press was dumb and they were in the tank for Obama. And he did say, we created an echo chamber, and it was pretty easy to do.
Yes.
And he's very upset with President Trump right now for threatening to end the Iranian regime once and for all. This was on MSCow.
Okay, great.
There's nothing in modern American history anywhere near this. He threatened to commit genocide. He threatened to wipe out a thousands-year-old civilization. He threatened to bomb civilian targets that have nothing to do with any military objectives. He threatened mass murder.
Hold on, he did? I know you could say that, all that other stuff. It's all stuff that's tied in with the military, but whatever, this guy.
He threatened mass murder on an epic scale. And whether he ends up doing it or not, he's already committed a war crime. And this will color the opinion in the United States for a generation around the world. There's no...
Okay. I'm trying to keep an open mind. Let's say for the sake of argument, he's got a point there. So you're telling me that Iran, that has promised death to America and death to Israel for 47 years, and that's been the goal, okay, that by speaking their language, saying, I'll wipe out your civilization, that is beyond the pale.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you can have that belief if you want. I don't know that everyone agrees, but go ahead.
There is no moral high ground anymore. He effectively casts the United States as
So moral high ground means we give them pallets of cash.
Yes.
Well, that's just
to help
it.
them build the nuke.
Right. I mean, what are you saying? I mean, what is
So
the
if you
moral
do
high
that,
ground? And how do you achieve the moral high ground with these people? How?
We would be dignified. We will give them cash.
Yes.
Yeah. We won't do a thing.
And help them destroy the United States. What a dope.
He effectively casts the United States as acting like a rogue nation led by an autocrat who doesn't value any human life whatsoever.
Okay.
And those are pretty serious words, but that's what he said. I mean, we all
can't
read the
believe
post.
you're saying these
It wasn't
words.
the first time.
Yeah. I will say, I want to thank Ben Rhodes, though, for one of the funniest videos I've ever seen. And that was, if you remember, the night of the election in 2016. And it was clear Hillary Clinton lost.
Mm-hmm.
There's video that was captured of him, I believe, maybe it was the New York Times that got it, where he is, looks like he's about to break down crying outside of the viewing party, or he's just, he's just speechless. This guy is melting down.
Oh, I want to see that. If you find
I don't remember that.
I don't either. It's been a long time since I've watched any of those videos of watching the meltdown, especially of 2016. You know, people, weeping and everything else.
The big watch party.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. By the way, speaking of turning back the clock, I don't know if you happen to see this. Someone that was near and dear to our heart there for a long time, or I should say hearts, is back in the news. And that would be one Rachel Dolezal.
What? She's back.
She's in the news.
Really?
Yes. If you don't remember Rachel Dolezal, this was 2015. She presented herself as a black woman, despite being as white as can be.
Yep.
And kept saying that she was black. She wasn't African American, but she was black. Okay. Because she was she the head of the NAACP or something?
Yeah, in Spokane.
Yeah. Anyway, recently revealed she underwent surgery for stage 1 melanoma. Now, you don't wish that on anybody.
No.
She can't tan anymore. See, that made you laugh, David. You're a bad person.
A little bit.
Well.
So, apparently, yeah, she can no longer lay in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
But she has now turned to a drinkable tanning drop to replace the sunbathing. I'd never even heard of that.
That sounds safe.
So you drink it and it turns your skin darker?
Per Daily Mail, she explained they have carotene in them. And she said, I know there's an old tradition to drink carrot juice and beet juice, and it's supposed to stimulate your melanin. So she's doing that instead. So there you go.
Can't you just say you are? Anymore, you don't. You just have to say you are.
Well,
you identify as, so you are.
She broke the glass ceiling as far as like trans-identifying race, I guess.
I agree.
I remember asking at the time, and man, I was getting all sorts of hate raining down, saying, if she identifies as black, why can't you respect that when you have a woman that's identifying as a dude?
Yeah.
I think a little while later, even Charlemagne the God, he got a lot of flack for it too, because he was asking the same question. It's like, none of this makes sense. What are the rules here?
They're like, that is such an uneducated take. How?
Yeah. I mean, if we're going to pretend in one area, why can't we pretend in all areas?
That was the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember her on the Today Show explaining how she was black and not African American. Do we have time?
I think so.
To revisit this? Okay.
Why say that you are, in fact, a member of the African American community? I think that's the disconnect people still have.
Well, I don't identify as African American. I identify as black, so I am part of the Pan-African diaspora, and I...
That's the one that always sends Robbins over the edge.
The Pan-African diaspora. What?
Yes.
I'm part of the Pan-African diaspora, and I definitely feel like in America, even though race is a social construct, and we've acknowledged this in academia and in science, there still is a line drawn in the sand. There still are sides. Politically, there's a black side and a white side, and I stand unapologetically on the black side. I stand with my own internal sense of self and my own values. I stand with my sons. I stand with my sister, and I also stand there really with the greater cause of challenging the myth of white supremacy.
You're white!
And there you go.
I remember watching that documentary, and so like one of her sons is actually her brother, or something like adopted brother, but then she adopted him. It was a very odd.
You told me how sad it was, so I didn't watch it.
Dude, it is so sad because he's about in the documentary while she's making the rounds with all this, he's about to go off to college for the first time.
Oh,
and
man.
like you can tell he loves her, but when she's about to go on the Today Show for like the second or third time, he's like, "Mom, why are you doing this?" Like he's just humiliated.
Oh man. Okay, yeah, that just is sad. But anyway, yeah, she was back in the news. I figured you'd want to know.
Definitely.
It is National Unicorn Day, whatever that is. What does that mean?
It means if you think you are, you are.
It's also, it's crazy it happens on a Thursday, it's National Gin and Tonic Day. You feeling supersonic? Yeah, we need to stay away from that.
Yes.
We're not dipping into that, even though the world is crazy.
Yes,
There's
yes.
no doubt about that. Holy smokes. David, I didn't know you had a clip from Keir Starmer.
Oh, yes.
I can't wait to hear that. And the 5 stories we're watching today is coming right up.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-970-3355. That's 800-970-3355. 800-970-3355.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-297-7049. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-297-7049. 800-297-7049. 800-297-7049.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. And it's time for the 5 stories we're watching today.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
By the way, I did find the Ben Rhodes crying thing, and I can play that if we have time.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Number 5, CNN. I just love this story so much. CNN had some breaking news today that Michael J. Fox had died. He says that's not true. He's very much alive. Number 4.
He was just on the cover of a magazine, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Like, people are one of those?
I think so, yeah.
Like, I've got a lot left to do.
Yeah. Number 4, the Justice Department is looking into the NFL, and it gets a little bit in the weeds, but essentially they are immune from a lot of antitrust laws and regulations under a law that Congress passed in 1961. And there is some renewed scrutiny because part of the deal of their exemption involves not basically you have to have games available to the general public, like on over-the-air broadcast. Well, now the Justice Department is looking into whether or not they're breaking the law because of all of the different streaming options that they're giving exclusive access to, like Amazon, Netflix, etc.
Yeah.
So they may be in some trouble with all of this. And I generally it's kind of like, well, the league has the ability to do what it wants to do, but at the same time, if you are getting some cushy benefits from the federal government and you're screwing over the consumer at the same time, I think something needs to break here.
No kidding.
Watching sports as a chore.
Yeah.
You never know where the hell it is.
Yeah. Number 3, all U.S. ships, aircraft, weapons, military personnel are remaining in place around Iran until a full agreement is reached, just in case, right? He'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Number 2, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte criticized European countries for being a bit slow in supporting the U.S. war against Iran. And then number 1, the Iranian president says the planned talks between the U.S. and Iran on Saturday will be meaningless if Israel continues to attack Hezbollah in Lebanon. All right. Those are the top 5 stories that we're watching today. Ben Rhodes, the former Obama Deputy National Security Advisor, who was instrumental in that deal with Iran that Obama put in place. 2016, he became the centerpiece of one of the funniest videos I've ever seen, and it's because he's outside of the Javits Center. Everybody was expecting Hillary Clinton to win on election night. He had to go outside and get some air when it was, pretty much a done deal that was not going to happen, and he looks like he's going to cry or throw up the entire time. So here we go.
I just came outside to try to process all this. it's a lot to process. I mean,
what?
I can't even.
Well, we're young.
Gee whiz.
I can't.
Dude, that's on the air?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't. I can't put it into words. I don't know what.
Dude, that seriously, that is like the way you are when you hear devastating news.
Yes.
In your personal life,
Yeah.
like someone unexpectedly died, and you're shell shocked.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is.
Yes.
Oh, they were so sure.
I know.
They were so sure. They led everybody to believe that.
Yes.
And didn't work out. But I wanted to say, we'll play a song and we'll be right back with the rest of the take in just a minute.
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. All right, David, biggest story today?
Biggest story of the day. The tenuous ceasefire enters day 2 between the U.S. and Iran. We'll see if this holds. And what happens this weekend is going to be obviously very important, as J.D. Vance and Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner are going to be talking, supposedly, with whoever is supposed to be representing Iran at these negotiations.
Yes. Oh, we got to get to the clip of Keir Starmer in the UK. Man, Britain.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying it's over.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, you'd have to agree with that. Something else we got to get to. That Virginia governor, man, her approval has plummeted.
Yeah, it has.
Why? We'll get to that and around it. What's your story? Coming right up. Yep. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. So Keir Starmer, David.
Yes, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Well, he's decided he's going to go to the Middle East and try to sort some things out.
Oh, yes. He's going to go,
yeah, now he's going. He went to Saudi Arabia. And he's going to do the work now when it comes to Iran. And just get a load of this. The phrasing is what's gotten me and a lot of people kind of laughing.
Okay. Roll it.
Well, we've just reached this ceasefire, which...
We?
Yeah, we?
What? Who? All right, go ahead.
Well, we've just reached this ceasefire, which is both welcome and I think there'll be a sense of real relief. There certainly is across the region and for the United Kingdom. But there's work to do.
Always work to do.
Get off the couch now, are you?
Yep.
Wow.
We've just reached this ceasefire.
He was instrumental in it, David.
Isn't he like the poster child of being a weak leader?
Yes.
Been a lot in the UK.
He's one of them.
Well, he globs on only after he knows what the score is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then it was he was part of it then. Yeah.
Yeah. And this whole piece in City Journal talking about the Islamification of Britain.
Gosh dang.
Is something.
Oh.
Yeah. Until the UK's political and cultural elite can defend confidently what it means to be British, the nation will sacrifice women's safety, Jewish security, and core liberal principles such as free speech. Because all that's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Man, oh man. A growing Muslim population has become more confident in asserting its identity, while Britain's political and cultural elite increasingly insists upon respect for Islam as a show of support for the supposedly progressive values of diversity, multiculturalism, and anti-racism.
No, of course they continue to expand when there's absolutely no pushback. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you can just do what you want, yeah. Okay.
Yes. This part, the education system plays an important role in normalizing Islamic religious practices among all children. Thousands of schools have changed their uniform policies to let Muslim girls as young as 5 wear a hijab in the classroom or to ban all girls from wearing skirts. Can't have it.
No. Can't be showing those ankles.
In compliance with Islam's modesty rules. And talking about the different food that's being served, often without parents being informed. Yeah, it's something, man.
Yeah, it's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, all good. We coexist. Coexist is the word.
Yeah. You can't punish the Muslim pupils with after-school detentions during Ramadan.
No, can't do that.
Why can't you do that?
Because they said so.
Do you know what kind of hell I would have raised if that was on the table when I was in school?
Yeah.
I would just be like, "Well, I'm Muslim for Ramadan, so you can't.
Of course,
you can't put me in detention."
Or I would have gone to the church that has Wednesday night services all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole piece is fascinating, by the way.
Yeah, it's fat and infuriating. I read.
Oh, for the people that live there, yes.
Steamed, man.
Yeah.
Like
you talk about cautionary tale.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Again, man, people want to assimilate.
Fine.
Worship your own God. But that ain't the case most times there.
No.
Well,
it's a longer goal in mind, and people are too naive to see through it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because, again, it's the coexist thing. And I remember, because this has been, well over, probably 2 decades in the making, at least, in the UK. But I remember years and years ago, a family member of mine who lives in Scotland was talking a lot about it. And this would have been, 2010 or 2011 or something like that. And I thought, okay, you're being paranoid right now. And he was ranting and raving. I was like, he just kind of sounded like Uncle Drunkle, at the Thanksgiving dinner table. And then it's like, oh, you flash forward a few years and, well, he was actually right.
Scotland's unrecognizable. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, and you wonder, are most people paying attention to that in the United States? Probably not. Not most people.
Well, no, I agree. Most people are not. But my gosh, man.
But by the time those people figure it out, it's too late.
Well, look at Dearborn times, 100, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's here, and it's creeping.
Well, it's being fought all over Texas, too.
And it's unbelievable.
All right, moving on to this stuff. Oh, Virginia. The governor. All of a sudden, very unpopular.
Very, most unpopular in this century right now. As far as Virginia is concerned, this is Governor Abigail Spanberger, and her approval ratings have just collapsed in historic fashion because she ran as a moderate but is governing like the far-left radical she is.
Yes.
So you have this landslide election where she wins pretty easily. And one of the things, I mean, you got gun grab attempt, you got tax raising attempts, the gerrymandering effort she's leading, which would pretty much completely wipe out the voting power of any conservative.
Mm-hmm.
And so people are like, hey, I don't like this, actually. This is a bad thing. And the polling is reflecting that. Well, she was asked about being the most unpopular governor Virginia's had this century.
Okay.
There was a poll out that had your numbers a little unfavorable, and then your predecessor, Glenn, was making a podcast run earlier this week to taking a couple jabs at you. I guess overall, on your numbers, what do you attribute that to, and then what would you say back to Glenn?
I would say, if everybody hated me, why is everybody putting my face on their mailers for the referendum, would be question number one.
Because your party's paying for it.
Yeah,
right.
I was just going to say.
I mean,
clueless.
They do what they want.
It's not organic. It's
no.
Hey,
see my face? I'm popular.
Yeah, I see my face on these mailers that, I mail out, and my face is everywhere. I mean, come on.
See? Popular. Unbelievable. That's hilarious. All right. It's that time. We do it a couple of times a day. Go around the table. It may not be the biggest story out there, but it caught your attention. David, what's your story here?
My story is a few weeks ago, we talked about this. A professional cornhole player was arrested for shooting and killing a guy. His name is Dayton James Weber, and he's a quadruple amputee. That's what was so interesting to a whole lot of people, very handy capable, even without arms and legs. TMZ just got new video of him. So he's got, it's cut off like right around the elbows and right around the knees. He had a blood infection as a baby, and they had to cut off his extremities. Okay. But yeah, he can fire a gun. He can load a gun with the nubs on the ends of what's left of his arms.
It's remarkable.
Yeah, TMZ got a new video of him doing a handstand or a nub stand, whatever you would call it there, while snorting something off of a dollar bill, then walking, shuffling over to a window and firing a gun out of the window. And I just want to say, I don't think this guy's a quadruple amputee. I think he's a midget who has, like, fake prosthetic nubs. I think the way he moves,
it's fluid.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm watching him actually, like pull a charging handle or rack a slide on a handgun.
I know.
And it's like he's got like joints in there, and I'm like, no, he's just got little hands. He has to.
The racking of the slide is really something, man.
What was he snorting off the?
Well, I mean, you could take an educated guess, maybe cocaine or something like that.
So he was snorting cocaine, and then he fired a gun.
Yes.
Sure he isn't a member of a band somewhere.
That does sound like 70s rock band, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's also the bass player for,
yeah, whatever.
In Nubs and Nubs.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's amazing what you can do.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
All right, Scotty, what do you got for your story?
Here's talk about Spanberger's poll. A majority of voters in New York City now say they are on the wrong track with Zoran Mondani after his first 100 days in office. New Emerson College poll is out. Overall, they believe the city's on the wrong track, while only 41% said they think it's on the right track.
What?
So you got your 59 saying wrong track, 41 saying right track. Now, this is where I think it gets kind of interesting.
All right.
The highest percentage of minority voters were sour on the city's economy. 82% of Hispanics, 82% rated the economy as fair or poor, as did 79% of blacks. So the minority vote said the way they hate him.
You know what this sounds like to me? Islamophobia.
You know where he is ahead poll wise though? What demographic?
What demo?
White women.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy smokes.
Need we say more?
White liberal women.
Yeah. They love him.
Easily duped.
Wow.
Very easily duped.
It's really something, man.
Yeah, it's something. Happened to see this. JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon.
Yeah.
People pay attention to what he says. Some people can't stand him. Other people are like, hey, at least got to hear what he says.
I'll listen.
He's wise. He's thinking AI is going to reduce people's work weeks to 3.5 days. That's what he said. He explained it.
We went from working 6.5 days a week to 6 days a week to 5.5 days a week to 5 days a week to 12 hours a day to 10 hours a day to 8 hours a day. I do think that there's a good chance to be 3.5 days a week, and in many years they'll be living wonderful lives.
Are we going to get paid for 5 days a week and 3.5 days?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, he said that could be 30 years from now.
Yeah.
Not to concern me.
Yeah. But that he could see that happening just with AI. I mean, think about how much people rely on AI now that really had no idea about it 3 years ago. Where's it going to be in 3 to 5 years from now?
That's true.
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
So I'm spooked by the whole thing.
30 years, we can have the same work schedule as a Chicago public schools teacher.
Boy, that's about right. Yeah.
With no union.
Yeah.
Are we getting summers off?
I don't
Why
know.
not?
That'd be nice, too, wouldn't it? Yeah. It's not all bad. All right. News update and Nimrod's in the news coming right up.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry. Terry! Terry! Keep awkwardly chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it. Woo! Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-297-7049. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-297-7049. 800-297-7049. 800-297-7049.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. You know, a lot of people have been talking about losing weight this spring, getting ready for summer.
Yep.
If you're in that boat, want to lose 10 pounds or more, and you've thought about the shots, but you really don't like needles, and you really don't want any of those nasty side effects, there is an alternative out there that's worked for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a supplement that's called Lean, developed by doctors and researchers to mimic the positive effects of those drugs and minimize the negative as well. And it does pretty much the same thing. It regulates your blood sugar. It also suppresses your appetite. That's the real key part of it. And also helps your body use fat as energy, so you're burning fat more efficiently than you would otherwise. So Lean, it's worked for a whole lot of people, including people who listen to this show. We hear from them from time to time. Scott.
Yeah, if you're a casual dieter, by the way, if you're trying to lose 2 or 3 vanity pounds, probably not for you. Brickhouse Nutrition designed Lean for the frustrated dieter. 10 pounds or more to lose, so let's get you started right now. 20% off plus free rush shipping. Just go to takelean.com. Use promo code MVCR, add lean to your healthy diet and exercise plan. That's MVCR at takelean.com.
News update, David Van Camp.
Well, the takes are amazing right now when it comes to Iran. I mean, their left-wing media figures are just trying to bend over backwards to find something to ding Trump on. And Stephanie Rule from MS Cal certainly had a take. Let's partake in this.
Okay.
Okay, this is a phenomenal point because you could disagree with Iran and what their point of view is, but it's the fact that they have a deep belief in something that's unfathomable
that they will die
to him,
for.
that they will die for, that they'll destroy their country for.
Yes. I mean, he has no ideological belief or patriotism about America, and he doesn't think anybody else does. So when he sees Iranians lining up around power grids, he can't understand that. He thinks they're being paid to do it.
No, they were forced to do it, you dope.
You really have to hand it to the madmen in charge of Iran. They're willing to die for their crazy beliefs. What?
Yeah.
You actually don't have to hand it to them.
No, you don't. Okay, that part of the take is laughable. And then the take that Trump is not patriotic for America?
Yeah. Dude, I mean, it's hard to think of more people who have gone, or other people who have gone through the amount of hell that this dude has gone through over the last decade. Like, anybody else would have just quit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they think it's all because he needs to have the power and he's this, crazy megalomaniac or whatever. Yeah, the bad takes are always going to be there. That was something, though. Got to look up to them. They really believe in something.
Yeah, something. I mean, who would have thunk it?
I know. Man, I don't know if you happen to see this. FBI Director Kash Patel announced the arrest of Courtney Williams, former Special Operations Command employee accused of leaking classified national defense information over multiple years. Wow. You wanted to see arrests? There's one.
Yep.
She reportedly held a top secret clearance and is accused of sharing sensitive details about military tactics, operations, and procedures with unauthorized individuals, including a journalist. Investigators say this included extensive communication with information that later appeared in public reporting and a published book. She has been charged under the Espionage Act. Because sometimes you're like, hey, we got some leaking going on. We got to do something about it. And then is there ever sort of follow-up? Well, there is there. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, we got to get to Nimrods. Roll it out. Here we go.
When the going gets tough.
Damn it, this is too hard.
The dumb get dumber.
All right, Ian.
It's Nimrods in the News on the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
I love the poorly educated.
All right. Nimrod's in the News. Well, here's somebody that set a fire for his beliefs. The warehouse fire in Ontario. This is a 1.2 million square foot building.
Oh, I saw the video, yeah.
It burned to the ground.
Wow.
Did you see the video of the dude that's been arrested?
I haven't.
Yeah.
Shamel Abdul Karim?
Yeah.
Missed that one.
Oh, yeah. He has this video where he says, all you had to do was pay us enough to live.
Oh.
And then he is walking through the warehouse, igniting pallets, saying, there goes your inventory.
Dang.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah. And they talked to this guy. That is Alejandro Montero. He's a forklift driver. Said he talked with the dude like 15 minutes before the fire erupted. Said I just met him that night. He was helping me load my trailer. So weird. It was kind of weird. At first we were worried because we didn't know where he went when it all got evacuated. But now I'm angry because we've all lost our jobs.
Yeah.
Because of Abdul Karim. But again, he had deep beliefs and he followed them.
True.
And that's Nimrod's in the News.
Are you ready?
Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, and Scott Robbins.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Making sense of it all.
Now I get it.
And having some fun.
Lighten up, Francis.
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. Okay, Trump should be removed for war crime that didn't happen. Okay. Who's that saying that, David?
That would be Ed Markey, one of these left-wing Democrats, senator. Yeah, he went on CNN to say Trump, he needs to be removed from office. Of course.
Okay. Yeah. How old's Ed now? Just curious.
What Trump and Hegseth were planning was a war crime. It was a promise to destroy a civilization. They were planning an actual genocide, an actual destruction of a civilization. That's why Trump should be impeached. That's why Democrats should file impeachment articles against Trump. That's why the 25th Amendment to remove him should be invoked.
Obviously, Senator, the president did not kill an entire civilization last night. Is impeachment really a productive or even feasible tool at this point with Republicans in control of Congress?
Democrats must proceed with the filing of the impeachment.
You're not supposed to ask that. We're trying to raise money.
No, right.
Just do it. Go ahead, do it.
It'll be Al Green's lucky day, the representative from
kidding.
Houston, man. He's been talking about impeachment, well, for years.
Shaking the cane, shaking the cane.
Got a lot of curses saved up in that cane. He hasn't used them all yet.
That's right.
Yeah.
Always shaking that cane around.
Oh, yeah, always.
Yeah.
It's got juju to it.
The promise of ending civilization. Well, promise. He didn't do it.
No.
They all get the same talking point. Of course, we already know they do.
Yeah.
It's just all part of it.
I'm surprised that dial-up hasn't weighed in yet.
Hakeem?
Yeah. Where's he been? He's a little slow in the draw here.
Well, yesterday he happened to say, what was it, that this isn't good. Ceasefire's not good enough.
Right.
You need to end this.
Right.
And it was another talking point, as I remember.
Well, he's,
the statement wasn't that long. I have it if you want it. Here it is.
Well, a 2-week ceasefire is insufficient. We need
a permanent end to Donald Trump's reckless war of choice?
There you go.
Yeah.
The
Well, a
reckless
2-week
choice. Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
That's the money. The
And
phrase that pays.
And I happened to see today, your boy Maze Moore on X, David.
Yeah.
Posted Hakeem in an interview with 60 Minutes from May of 2024, saying that the Ukraine-Russia war had been a strategic success by any definition for America.
Okay.
Something like that. Just like complete BS. It's under a minute. You want to hear it?
Yes.
All right. There you go.
We can't let Ukraine fall, because if it does, then there's a significant likelihood that America will have to get into the conflict. We have no doubt that if Vladimir Putin is successful in Ukraine, he won't stop. There is a growing pro-Putin faction in the Republican Party that does not want...
What? I forgot about this.
Yeah.
So the fear at that time was, okay, it takes Ukraine, and then we'll have to get involved because it'll just keep coming.
Mm-hmm.
But now Iran's not really a threat. Okay.
To support Ukraine and believes, for some reason, that Russia is not an enemy of the United States of America. And so those that want to convince the American people that the Ukrainian effort has been a failure are promoting Vladimir Putin's propaganda. This has been a strategic success by any definition.
By any definition.
That's right.
How about Ukraine winning?
Yeah.
That's not been a success. It's been a crazy amount of loss of life.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a quagmire, and I think that you can have two thoughts at the same time. And one that, yes, actually, Russia thought this was going to be a lot easier than it was, and has certainly not been able to say success in Ukraine. That being said, I mean, what's the strategic benefit that we've gotten from this?
It's a great question. Don't know. Do not know. You know, you think about all the different things that you could pick apart about the Republicans. I think we do plenty of it, honestly. The Republican Party as a whole is pretty disappointing.
Yeah, but they put on a good dog parade.
Yeah, they do that. Boy, as far as voter ID law, you've had all this power, can't get her done. Just, well, you know, there's just different channels we have to go through, blah, 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 whatever.
I voted for the dog parade, though.
I bet you did. You're a nut about your pets, of course. Right. But you look at the polling, the Democrats as a party, terrible.
Yes.
Especially with midterms coming up, usually the party not in power, all of a sudden their popularity goes up. People are like, no, Democratic voters can't stand their own party, according to the polling. And why is it? Well, they've got a lot of leaders that are just not very good. And then you look at the things that they really stand on. And a lot of it just doesn't resonate with regular people.
Well, lessons were not learned. If anything, they've been doubled down on.
Yes.
I mean, and again, if that would have worked, you would have seen the logic behind it, but it didn't.
And the one issue that is just kind of crazy to me is the trans issue. It is not popular with people. When you're talking about dongs and girls sports or whatever, or puberty blockers and surgeries for teens, that's not popular. They just keep doubling down.
Yep.
And, man, this was heartbreaking. I'll just warn you, it's under 2 minutes, but I think it's a good representation of what can happen to one of these confused kids.
Oh, boy.
What?
Okay, I don't know if I'm mentally prepared for this or not, but go ahead.
Well, we'll do something funny afterwards.
Okay.
Well, we'll try to.
All right.
But dude, that Scott Wiener, you've talked about him before, David. This guy's reprehensible in California.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's actively trying to protect people who run and trade girls for a living. I mean, also wants to severely kneecap the sex offender registry because he says, well, it harms gay people. What?
Yeah. So he's sitting in as they're talking about the California bill, AB 1876, forces insurance to cover gender treatments with no age limits. So this detransitioner, Johnny Skinner, is testifying about what happened to him, saying this, should not be. Scott Wiener's just got to sit there and listen to him talk and tell his story, and there you
Good
go.
afternoon. My name is Johnny Skinner. I'm here representing GenSpect. When I was young, I was a feminine child, and I discovered trans influencers online. They said, change your body and your life gets better. Don't, and it gets worse. Or as my doctors told my mom, I would commit suicide. The medical and mental health providers didn't bother to ask why I felt the way I did. They poisoned my body with blockers and hormones, arresting my puberty and messing with my development.
They never asked him why he felt the way he did. How is that possible?
No money in it.
Man.
The result, I'm a 23-year-old gay man who's never had an orgasm and may never experience one. Let that sink in.
Gays Against Groomers had shared this. This is where I saw it. So if you're like, where did the music come from? Some people do that for dramatic effect. I don't always think it's necessary, but you'll have the idea.
I was rendered anorgasmic because once you say you could be trans, that's it. Full stop. No exploration as to why is allowed, even if you are a struggling kid. The former president of WPATH, Dr. Marcy Bowers, a California surgeon who had performed the surgery for Jazz Jennings at 17, admitted on video that puberty blockers followed by cross-sex hormones results in no orgasms and stunted genitals. SB 934 guarantees that more people will end up like me, the walking but wounded. I could have been spared all of...
I'm sorry, Scott. I know. You're wincing. I understand. Jeez. Not that much left.
Spared all of this if any of my therapists would have explored why I felt dysphoric, but they never did. They only led me to hate my body more. The Supreme Court just ruled in a rare bipartisan decision that laws like this are unconstitutional viewpoint discrimination. This bill is an attempted workaround that will be used to silence therapists who could have helped me avoid the irreversible harms to my body and the loss of my sexual function, as is the same for many others. So today I ask you to extend some empathy to survivors like me and vote no for this bill.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, glad he said it. And the left still full steam ahead.
Well,
all the states that are trying to stop these treatments, they want kids to die.
Yeah, there's part of me that I don't know. I don't feel bad for them necessarily because you have to. If you're a thinking person, you have to know that this is butchery and that's wrong. But they have totally committed themselves to this thing, and they can't just go out and say, because if they, turn the other way, they can't just say, oh yeah, I was lying to you the whole time.
Right.
And there are too many people. One, there's a especially for the so-called healthcare providers, there's actually legal implications to all of that.
Yeah.
If they admit wrongdoing. But man, it's just monstrous.
How can you hear that, though, and not be moved by it? How can you hear that?
Exactly.
And not go, wait a minute, we have to rethink this.
Yeah, a person with a conscience be like, you know what? Even if you believed in it before, maybe we ought to take another look at this.
Yeah, even if it is just one person or two people or whatever that are brave enough to step out and say, here's what happened to me.
Yeah.
Jeez. So preventable.
A couple other stories out there. Well, health news, they're saying eating chocolate and cheese could help you live longer. It's something new every week, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
But it's, like yogurt, chocolate, cheese, helps you, especially from heart disease. So you got that going for you, Scott.
That was good.
Yeah. Saying fermented foods, basically. Not all made the list, but those did.
Yeah.
So that was out there. Nikki Glazer. She hosts some different award shows, things like that.
Yeah.
So, fairly popular, especially in Hollywood circles. Did you see what she's making news about?
Yeah, I did.
That she's talking about her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
It's been around for, 13 years. They met in 2013, started dating. She said she kind of likes it when he hooks up with other women. What? Yeah.
Yeah.
She said, I kind of like it. She said, it's not a two-way street. She doesn't want to mess around when she's in a relationship, but she does want a guy that other girls want.
Wow.
Said, now, it's just physical with him. Emotional cheating would hurt me. How do you know the difference?
That's like, who are you really trying to convince, me or yourself?
Yeah, that's what you wonder about that. And then I have no idea how much influence she has on, younger women or girls. To all of a sudden say, yeah, I want to be evolved like that and let my guy know that it's okay that he cheats. Freaking bonkers, man.
It costs you money usually at the end of the day.
That might be if you're married, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you saying?
I say it's problematic.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. News update on the 5 stories we're watching today, coming right up.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-970-3355. That's 800-970-3355. 800-970-3355.
The Markley, Van Camp and Robbins Show. I'm sorry, man. Robbins cracks me up sometimes. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. It's time for the 5 stories we're watching today.
All right, number 5, a former New York City police sergeant named Eric Duran was sentenced to 3 to 9 years in prison. He was part of a sting operation a few years ago. The suspect sped away on his scooter down the sidewalk. Because it was so crowded, he didn't shoot him. The cop didn't. He actually tossed a cooler at the suspect, hit him. It was a good throw. The guy was going so fast, he wiped out and then crashed and died. So the cop in this case, who, again, was just doing his job, trying to stop a fleeing suspect, well, he got convicted of manslaughter, and he's going to be spending the next 3 to 9 years in prison.
Oh, my goodness.
For that, because it's New York. Again, a drug dealer put a bunch of people in danger. A cop stopped the threat without firing a gun, and now he's going to prison because it's New York.
Dude.
This is insanity.
It is insanity.
All right, number 4, the Artemis II crew is preparing to return home from going around the moon. They're going to be hitting Earth's atmosphere at like 25,000 miles per hour. Crazy.
Robbins is very concerned.
Well, they were talking about the heat shields, and that's the thing. I mean, everybody gets a little nervous about because as one of the astronauts said, they're going to be riding a fireball, which, of course, they are. And if the heat shields fail, then, well, it's disaster.
Yeah.
So, anyway, worth watching, I guess. We'll see it all on television, I'm sure. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to say. I always figure they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I do too.
And it'll be fine.
Yeah.
If they didn't think there was a high probability it'll be okay, they wouldn't do it. And I know anything could happen.
Yeah.
But I see you. It's not an act. You're gripping.
Well, no, I mean, I do. I guess I've seen terrible things happen, so, you know.
Have you seen anything terrible in the last 40 years?
When was an explosion at Challenger? That was probably the last
86.
one. Yeah, 86. Oh, God, that was 86?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that was probably the last one, but there's always trepidation. You know?
I know. I just don't even think about it. Like, it'll be fine. Yeah.
All right, number 3, Iranian president says planned talks between the U.S. and Iran on Saturday will be meaningless if Israel keeps bombing Hezbollah in Lebanon. Number 2, NATO General Secretary Mark Rutte criticized European countries for being a bit slow in supporting the U.S. in the war against Iran. Also, number one, just a fun clip. Mark Rutte talked about his relationship with President Trump.
Alina Shirazi from Daily Mail. So based on your conversation with the president yesterday, do you think that he is still going to stay in NATO since you know him so well? And second of all, do you still consider him daddy after yesterday?
Well, on the daddy thing, this is a language problem. What happens is the following. I have to explain to you because it follows me a little bit. I can assure you. Now, we had a sort of pre-summit meeting, the president and I, in June in The Hague. And he had been very angry that day with Iran and with Israel. This was in June last year. And in Dutch, you would say, hey, the translation of your father is daddy. And I would say, I said, hey.
Yeah. Hey, come on. It's a language issue.
Yeah. I don't just call him up and say, hey, Daddy, what's up? This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robin show.
He's very excitable sounding.
Or does Trump call him and he's like, hello? Trump's like, it's Daddy.
He probably does, honestly.
I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, my gosh. All right, biggest story of the day, David.
Yeah. Biggest story of the day is, I guess, you got day two of this tenuous ceasefire between the United States and Iran.
And do you get the people, or do you get the feeling a lot of people in America are like, okay, let's put this thing to bed.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's some weariness there, definitely.
Yeah, you get that feeling. All right, couple of updates to get to. You got a big three today.
Big three.
Scott Robbins trifecta coming right up. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. The trifecta with Robbins coming up in a few. News update, David Van Camp.
Well, the president spoke to Fox News about the ongoing discussions with the Iranians, and per Fox, Trump says he is optimistic that a peace deal is within reach. And he says that, and he's mentioned this before, Iran's leaders talk differently at a meeting than talking to the press. He says they're more reasonable. If they don't make a deal, it will be painful.
I believe him on that.
Yep.
Also saw this. Federal judge in Boston, another one of those, has temporarily blocked the Trump administration's effort to end temporary protected status for over 5,000 Ethiopians living in the United States. The administration had argued that conditions in Ethiopia no longer justify the designation and moved to terminate it earlier this year, but the judge ruled the decision may have been procedurally flawed.
Okay.
And ordered protections to remain in place while the case continues. Just gumming up in the courts.
And plus, don't you know that we've changed the definition of temporary to mean permanent?
Yeah, the left does that all the time.
Yeah.
What are words? What do they mean? So that keeps work permits and deportation protections active for now. Okay, so on it goes. Then it'll keep going.
Yes.
And going. And going.
Round and round we go.
We had no idea there were this many activist judges around the United States.
No, that's right. You don't.
And all you got to do is just keep shopping for the right active judge, and you will get the ruling that you want.
You don't even I don't know. I mean, I guess I kind of knew those existed, but I didn't realize that the volume. Holy cow!
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on who appointed them and what years they've been there, and I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Who's paying
Justice is
for
blind.
Their, season tickets to
right
the opera or local sports team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A couple other stories. Oh, I happen to see this at Daily Wire. It was talking about the push to get explicit content in front of kids without parents knowing. All the Alphabet Mafia books that have been introduced to grade school kids and middle school kids. And, a lot of times you can tell by the title of the book or the cover of the book, hey, whoa, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what they're doing now is trying to make the cover look like you would never guess what it was about. And calling it something completely different.
Of course.
Yes.
You lose the argument, you change the language. That's what the left does.
The story talks about Rebecca Bentheim, author of a YA book for teen readers, posted on social media about deliberately designing the cover art to hide the book's theme from parents while simultaneously advertising it to kids, saying when Penguin, Random House, asked me what I wanted for my cover, I said I wanted it to be gay enough for queer kids and teens to clock it, but for homophobic parents to just think it's a friendship story. Book is called When You're Brave Enough. Was just released the other day. And according to the publisher, it's recommended for kids 10 to 14. So the author went on to say, look, I said no holding hands, make my character look gay, but then there's got to be subtle details so that, parents would see it and say, oh, that's a book about bravery. They won't, pick up on it. I thought you would find that amusing. Yes.
Okay.
So then in a follow-up video...
Why the deception if it's great? I mean,
Yeah, what? Why would you ever call somebody like that a groomer? All they're doing is, secretly passing sexually charged reading materials onto children.
Yeah.
No, that's not grooming.
In a follow-up video, the author showed her book cover to random people on the street to see if they could guess what it was about. She said, shout out to the people who answered and to librarians who help kids and teens find subtle queer books if they need them. I'm a firm believer that positive representation saves lives. Would you be able to tell? A lot of people are like, this looks like a book. So yeah, I thought you'd find that amusing.
We have apparently a group of librarians all over the country that just keep an eye out for sexually curious teens.
Yeah, that's not creepy at all.
Not creepy, no. Totally normal.
Yeah. And then the conversation online, Reddit has a lot of these, asks people, okay, what have you stopped buying because the price has just gotten too high? People mention beer at concerts.
Yeah, I don't...
$19 for one beer?
Dude.
That's nuts. I mean, I haven't had a drink in over a decade, but...
Yeah, the last concert I went to, it was pretty... I was actually waiting in line, and then I finally get up, and it's my turn, and I saw the price of it. And this is kind of a small-ish venue. Okay. And, it was something like $12 or $13 for a Modelo. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing it.
How many ounces?
It was a 12-ouncer. It's a
Whoa!
bottle. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Well, no. Man, that's crazy. Other people said concert tickets themselves.
Well, they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're completely crazy.
People also said red meat. It's expensive. I'm
Yeah,
not
it
getting
is.
that
Beef
up,
is expensive.
Yep.
Fast food.
Yeah.
Said, well, it's almost like restaurant level now, the prices.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
so I'll either go to a restaurant or I'll eat at home.
I haven't had fast food in a long time, but I know they're all trying to go back to those value menus on some level. You get like,
Yeah.
a regular hamburger and small fries or something for $73.
This I did not know. Gas station coffee. I used to get gas station coffee. I worked in another job years ago.
Right.
It was just more convenient that way.
Yeah.
$5.60 for gas station coffee?
No kidding.
Dang.
Wow.
Like, no kidding.
Man.
Yeah, a person said, I just paid that normal size from a machine. I'm never doing that again.
Mm-hmm. Well, coffee in itself is pretty expensive. I mean,
dude, so I had this conversation with my daughter about coffees, and lattes came up, and I'm like, I don't even know if I've had a latte. I think I have. I can't remember. I could remember years ago going through somewhere, oh, you'll love it, and I got it, and I'm like, it was okay. She's like, you haven't had the right latte. Okay. She's in town. We make a plan. We're going to go on a hike. We're going to get coffee, and we're going to go on a hike, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have the idea, hey, your mom's at work. We could get her a cup, too. We could drop it off for work because that's right, close to where we're going to take a hike. Okay. I'm like, you just order it, whatever, and what you think I would like. Well, do you want this or that? So we choose whatever. 3 cups. Like $24?
Dang.
I don't say a word because what good is that going to do?
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
I wait to tell my buddies. And, of course, if you're listening, anybody else. $24?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Are you joking for 3 cups of coffee? And yeah, it tasted good, but I mean, all I could think was Pulp Fiction, a $5 bleeping milkshake. Like it was good. $8 good? I don't think so, man. Yeah. Anyway, all right, we're running a little late. Sorry. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
3 big 3. I know Casey's ready. Let's go.
Are you ready?
1, 2, buckle my shoe off.
It's the 3 most important news stories of the day.
I hit the trifecta.
Well, at least according to Scott Robbins. It's the trifecta on the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
Every day about this time, Scott Robbins' top 3 stories, helped by his hero.
I'm Casey.
Well, Casey. Be prepared for the Masters. I didn't get your picks.
Yeah.
You got your picks ready?
Nope.
Well, you get them into me, okay?
Nope.
Okay, you just want to be a part of it. That's fine.
Didn't want to do it this year.
That's fine.
He's had some losses, I guess. Anyway.
I'm ready.
Hard to get money out of him, too, I'll tell you that.
3.
He's actually running a little. He kind of has a problem.
Does he?
Yeah.
I'm beginning to realize it's time for a change.
We're working a program together.
Okay, got it. That's fine.
All right. Number 3, a couple of old guys showed up at the Masters and wreaked a little havoc.
Well, yeah, a couple of guys. Jack was there, you know.
Jack Nicklaus. It's the 40-year anniversary.
Yeah, he's 86 years old now, by the way. 86. So they tee it up. They're the first ones off the tees, right? I mean, they hit the ball.
The honorary
ceremonial,
yes.
whatever it is. Except Jack sliced one into the crowd.
Oh, no.
Ah! People were ducking. Get out of the way. It's Jack. He said he stepped up. He said, maybe I was a little half asleep still. I don't know. But anyway, slapped it into the crowd. Now, not to be outdone, Gary Player, who's 90, was there too.
Yeah. That guy's kept himself in an unbelievable shape for 90 years old.
Gary saw Anna Jackson. She's a lovely reporter from Sky Sports. And she was lined up there with some other cameramen, and they were filming some of it. And Gary walked up, and he said, you guys having a good time? That's a really good-looking chick right there. And he points at her.
Sounds like Gary Player.
It's like a Frank Sinatra.
Well, I take it that was not well received
well,
from some people?
Some people were shocked and dismayed.
Oh, God.
He's 90. Give him a break. Hey, Jack shanks one up into the crowd, and now Gary's up there talking about
I got to
hot
go
chicks.
find this video of that. I want to see that.
I do, too.
Opening tee shot. All right. Okay.
Now, on with
And
the
again, I haven't
countdown.
seen it. I'm just giving you what I read about it today. So there you go. People
All right.
were ducking. Yes.
Scott Robbins trifecta, top 3 of the day up to number
2.
Number 2, Chicago White Sox have a hat giveaway that you want to talk about.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you know, I'm kind of I'm a nut with this kind of stuff. When I go to a game, when we choose the games we go to every year, my buddies and I, we always try to pick something. We get a bobblehead or something will be given away that day, right?
Do your buddies do that too, or is that just you?
No, they do it before me, and they tell me later.
Okay.
So there's a giveaway coming up August the 11th. White Sox will be taking on the Cincinnati Reds. According to CBS News, the fans will be given, the ones who buy tickets in a specific section. There are 5 different sections. They'll get a Pope hat.
Oh, yeah.
The Pope hat, because, you know, the Pope's a big,
right.
Pope Leo's a big fan of the White Sox, right?
Yep.
He was at the World Series, as a matter of fact. So, I mean, if you're like me, of course, there's a flaw in this, I think. And they've corrected the flaw before it even happens. That is, if they're giving these things away when you come in, and you are sitting behind Pope Hat guy, you can't see anything. Like, hey, Pope Hat, can you take it off for a second? So what they're going to do is they recognize that, and then the White Sox decide, what we'll do is we will mail them to you. So the hats are going to go out in the mail to the people who buy the tickets in those special sections.
That feels lame.
Yeah, but rather than sit there.
I understand.
Hey, can you down in front, Pope Hat?
Is there anybody that I have no idea? Does anybody think that's like sacrilegious or something?
I'm sure there are, but I mean, nobody.
I have no idea.
I didn't see any complaints about it. I mean, I know there's going to be a limited number of those, and it would be nice to have one just in case you're going and you want to help your old buddy Scott out here. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
And the countdown continues.
All right.
The Scott Robbins trifecta, top 3 of the day.
And finally, 1.
Canada invents acronym so woke it'll make your head spin. David, you had this story earlier today, and I don't remember who this woman is. She's got some sort of position within the Canadian government.
Yeah, it's some politician who is really mad because apparently the national budget doesn't have enough gay Indian stuff.
Right. We need more gay Indian.
Yes.
Like you need cowbell. You need more gay Indian, right? Or else it just doesn't work. Her name is Leah Gazin.
Okay.
And she is a member. And, well, let her explain what all the acronyms are. Here we go.
Deal with the ongoing genocide of MMIW G2SLGBTQIA+.
Dang.
This is abhorrent.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So it stands for, okay, you ready for this? Missing.
Of MMIW G2SLGBTQIA+.
Try to keep up here because this is tough. Stands for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women, Girls, Two-Spirit, Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender, Queer, Questioning, Intersex, and Asexual People. There you go.
Okay. It said girls?
Yes.
Yes.
Just girls.
Girls in general, I guess.
But boys, no.
No boys, no. No boys are listed.
Got it.
Well, they do say
Two-spirit.
gay.
Yeah, they do say gay,
So
yeah.
gay boys would be in that. But straight boys are out.
Is Two-Spirit both, David?
Two-Spirit.
I don't know what that means.
Two-Spirit is, basically non-binary, but they wanted to sound more interesting. So they said, yes, it's spiritual. It's a two-spirit thing. Yeah.
So you can go either way. You're
Yeah,
switch hitter.
I mean,
okay.
The MMIW G2SL LGBTQIA+.
Yes.
What is the plus for?
I guess so you can add.
He doesn't know either.
And there you have it.
I didn't ask him, but I should have asked him.
Yeah.
He might know. He's got a.
What the hell's going on here?
I don't know.
We don't know either.
Yeah, trying to figure it out, man. Trying to learn. All right. Great job, Scotty, as always. Got Nimrod's in the news and the news update straight ahead.
Surprise! Your expenses this month were way higher than you expected! Also, you forgot to renew your website domain, and now you're in a bidding war!
You should see the look on your face.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Plus, the fridge died in the break room, and now everything smells weird! All right!
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-576-2024. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-576-2024. That's 800-576-2024. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
The Markley Van Camp and Robin Show. Hey, if you're thinking about losing some weight, 10 pounds or more, and you thought about the injections, but you don't like needles, and maybe you've heard about some of the intense side effects, and you want no part of that, but you'd like something that works for you, helps you along the way, there is something else that has worked for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a supplement you can take called Lean. All you do is you take a few of the capsules right after breakfast, and boom, you're off and running. Lean uses studied ingredients shown to help lower blood sugar, burn fat by converting fat into energy, so you're just a furnace burning that all day. Also curbs appetite and cravings, so it's very similar to the fat shot drugs, but no needles, no shots, no drama.
Now, if you're a casual dieter, lean is probably not for you if you just want to drop 2 or 3 pounds. Brickhouse Nutrition designed this product, Lean, for the frustrated dieter who wants to lose 10 pounds or more. So let's get you started. 20% off right now, plus free rush shipping. Just go to takelean.com. Use promo code MVCR. Add lean to your healthy diet and exercise routine. That's MVCR at takelean.com.
All right, running out of time. We got to get to Nimrod. Here we go.
When the going gets tough,
Damn it, this is too hard.
the dumb get dumber.
All right, Ian.
It's Nimrod's in the News on the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
I love the poorly educated.
All right. Nimrod's in the News. We go to the UK. This from the Manchester Evening News. This guy, a fraudster, Peter Littler, who is 61, was telling Joseph Webster, hey, you die, I'm going to take care of everything. I'll be the executor of the will, make sure all of your family gets the money that is coming to them.
Oh, nice.
Well, he's a fraudster.
Oh,
no. So he's got the money. He can do with it whatever he wants. He throws a big birthday party for himself, and then he buys horse semen from an Olympic horse. It's crazy. And now there's a lawsuit. That's Nimrod's in the News.